Hello, American Patriots. Douglas Ducote here, the founder and CEO of Veterans United for Justice, veteran law enforcement officer, retired U.S. Army, and the co-host of Real War Witness radio show. We've had one civil war in America. Are we heading for another one? Is that what those on the left are asking for? Is that what the Democrats are asking for? What's happening right now all across our country is outrageous, it's sickening, and it's very sad. It's also very unfortunate that tactics are being used that are going to get someone hurt. And when I say hurt, that's already happening. Republicans and conservatives, people supporting the Trump administration, are being injured. It's a matter of time before someone is killed for their political beliefs, and that is unacceptable. What am I talking about? Well, let me break down a few things for you. Some that have happened in the past couple of days and some that have happened over the past year. That's very frightening. Let's start with, and I've done a video on this in the past, Maxine Waters, Congresswoman, one each. Maxine Waters encouraging protesters to push back on any Trump supporters or anyone in the Trump administration, to confront them any place, anywhere, in a restaurant, out in public anywhere, a gas station, calling for left-wing liberals and Democrats to get in the face of Republicans. Basically, that's writing a check to these folks that they can get away with whatever they want. And we're seeing that happen. She just recently said that the problem isn't with the Democrats, it's with the Republicans. It's the Republicans under Trump who she calls the poster boy for the mob. We're the problem. We're the ones causing all the violence that's taken place in America. Maxine Waters is delusional. I'm not a mental health care provider. I'm just a man with a little bit of common sense that's heard many of her speeches. And she has a few screws loose. Then you've got Congressman Cory Booker, who may be running in 2020 on the Democrat ticket. Cory Booker calling for those on the left to get in the face of Republicans, to go up to Capitol Hill and physically confront, get in the face of members of Congress on the Republican Party. And we have that happening right now. We saw it happening live on TV during the Kavanaugh hearings. It's a matter of time before someone sadly gets shot. We recently had Hillary Clinton. You all remember her. Hillary Clinton said, and I quote, "You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about. If we are fortunate enough to win back the House and or the Senate, that's when civility can start again. Until then, the only thing Republicans seem to recognize and respect is strength." That's the former First Lady, former Secretary of State, former Congresswoman, calling for violence. That's how I look at it. I'm sure that's how you look at it too. How else can you interpret those words? We had, in the past 48 hours, former Department of Justice Eric Holder, Attorney General of the United States from the Obama administration, at a rally said, and I quote, it's time for us as Democrats to be as dedicated as they are, to be as committed as they are. And then he kind of did his own twist on what Michelle Obama said not too long ago. When Republicans go low, we kick them. That's what the new Democrat Party is about. Michelle Obama, of course, said when Republicans go low, we go high. This is a former Attorney General of the United States using the word kick 'em. That could mean many things to many people depending on how deranged you are. Now, what are the effects of these comments? Let's talk about what we've had happen since Trump has been president and just recently. We've had Senator Ted Cruz and his wife having dinner in a restaurant be verbally assaulted by members of the left in the restaurant and ran out of the restaurant. We've had Senator Rand Paul chased through an airport, Reagan National Airport, by protesters screaming and hollering at him, calling him names, verbally harassing him. And then he was also physically attacked, suffered 6 broken ribs, a lung that almost collapsed. John David Rice Cameron, he is the Stanford College Republicans president. He was physically attacked and punched during a pro-Kavanaugh rally by Democrat left-wing students. Congressman Steve Scalise, he was playing baseball and was shot with a gun. Sarah Huckabee Sanders was verbally attacked and ran out of a restaurant. You all remember that. And then a few days ago, there was a pickup truck in Los Angeles that had a bumper sticker that said Trump 2020. They set it on fire. Luckily, without the owner in it. College Republican students all across the nation are being verbally and physically attacked if they wear anything such as Make America Great Again hat or show any support for President Trump. They're being chased down, assaulted. And it's not just against Republicans. These folks are also upset with our law enforcement officers because they believe what the NFL players taking a knee is all about. That Republicans and white people in general and white police officers have a axe to grind with innocent young black youth, and they're shooting them down in the street for sport. And the black youth believe that crap. And things are happening that are very, very nasty. You know, in just the past 2 years, we've had, I think the total is up to 18 now, police officers that have been shot and killed in a line of duty. Places like Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Dallas, Texas, just to name a few. Then there's the Antifa group, Black Lives Matter, and the new Black Panther Party, calling for violence against law enforcement officers, actively calling for violence. The new Black Panther Party calling for the extermination of white people. Kill all whiteys. Kill their babies. Rape their women. Then you've got the Washington Post putting out a story recently denying that any of what I just said is true. You've watched it unfold live on your TV screens. You've seen the violence of Antifa. Think about this for a moment. Everywhere you're seeing violence, those cities are operated and controlled by Democrats. Up in Portland, Oregon recently, violence against Trump supporters, violence against Republicans, and law enforcement ordered to stand down and not get involved as protesters went after people in cars with baseball bats, beating their cars in their windows. And cops did nothing because the mayor said, stand down. We don't want to look like we're too heavy-handed. If I'm in a vehicle, as I'm sure most American patriots would feel this way too, and some angry mob comes up to me with baseball bats and starts beating the shit out of my vehicle and bashing in my window, I'm going to shoot some son of a bitch. People are going to die. That's where we're headed. And if you don't think that's where we're headed, you're delusional. It's a matter of time before we have another full-blown civil war on our hands. It's going to be conservatives, Republicans, Trump supporters against everyone else. Why? It is not the Republicans that are out in the streets causing all these issues. It is not the Republicans and conservatives or Trump supporters that are Antifa, that are Black Lives Matter, that are the Black Panthers. It's not Trump supporters going around burning and torching buildings, cars, attacking people in the street, attacking people at prayer rallies. It's members of the left. Be careful what you wish for, Democrats. Hillary Clinton, Cory Booker, Maxine Waters, Eric Holder. Because you're going to push a group of people that have had enough of your shit. And there's going to come a point where we're going to take to the streets too. And when we do, your ass will lose. I guarantee it. Because we've had enough of this shit. Watching it every single night play out on our TVs, in the paper. Listening to those on the left and those in the Democrat Party calling for violence against anyone that does not believe their ideology. Folks, please share this message. As always, please say a prayer for our men and women serving the United States military, our veterans, our law enforcement officers, first responders, our president, our country. And pray that we don't end up in another civil war. But if they want it, I will lead the damn charge right into the hells that they come up with. Because like you, I've had enough. Republicans and conservatives stand for peace. We're nonviolent people until you continue to push and poke and prod until we say, you know what? We're done with your silly ass. It's time for those up in the Department of Justice to start doing their damn job and arresting these son of a bitches and physically going to these people in Congress that are saying these horrible, evil things and putting a stop to it. For now, I'm Douglas Ducote. I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed evening.